Who lived in the other house next to that?
That was the church.
Oh, that was?
Yeah. That
That's
was
what I thought it was.
the
Yes, huh?
Greek Orthodox Church, and then they converted it. But it was a 9-room house and 4 bedrooms, and then Mumor lived up on the 3rd floor there. And for a while, Phil and Ethel, when they were first married, and they lived up on the 3rd floor. And then when they left, Mumor lived up there for a while. And
Where was your room?
my room was in the back there. I can't remember. I was trying to think how the layout was.
So we used to park right here and smooch a little bit for
On the side here.
right here. And some of them drunks would come up here from Gunnell and Carlson, that knew me from Gunnell and Carlson, and 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and they'd see us sitting in there and then start to hoop and holler. And
And we did have a back porch with that railing, remember?
the trellis was here.
A trellis, yeah. And Lyle climbed up.
She got locked out one night, and I called her for trellis and got in. Just got in as her dad got up out of the bathroom. I just froze again. He didn't see me. If he'd seen me, the poor guy had died of a heart attack. And then when he went back in, then I came down and let her in.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think that had to be my bedroom in the corner there. Yeah, I was in the corner.
I was never in your bedroom. This used to be a garage.
But yeah, there was
You're on the 2nd floor?
on the second. You mean?
You. That's where you lived, on the 2nd floor?
Oh, it was just a
one
one-family
house.
house.
Yeah, but your bedroom was in the 2nd floor?
Bedroom was in it.
Yeah, we had
Big kitchen they had.
4 bedrooms in upstairs, and it was a big well, you can see a 9-room house. It was only one, but there was the apartment on the 3rd floor. But our big kitchen there, our dining room there, and the living room in the front. And then 4 bedrooms upstairs. 1, 2. Actually, it was 5 bedrooms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was a 5-bedroom house. Yeah.
And Slewfoot had a dog that used to walk about the time when we'd come up here and sit and sparking. And you'd see the dog, remember? He had a rope
Way
about
down there.
45 yards. Slew was still up there, and here was the dog. Well, we knew he was coming.
I said what you really should have taken was the road up Hospital Hill, because when Lyle used to date me, well, then we'd walk up the hill, drop me off, and then he'd run all the way.
I could run all the way home, all the way to Price Street.
From here all the way to
And this would be
Price.
sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning.
Sure, that's just like Amy.
Yeah, running through the square, you know. Yeah, I could run the whole way.
But that Hospital Hill we hiked up that every day going to school. And then sometimes.
Well, you went that way to school.
No, sometimes I went that way too. Very seldom did we use the Sprague Street.
No, but didn't you use that little stairway that went down?
Yes, we did use it,
Okay.
but mostly.
Well, who's your friend? Who's your closest friend around the neighborhood?
Right there, Marie Constantine lived right there.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't have a telephone, so they would always come over and use our phone.
It's a big house.
Yeah, well, they lived
Big
on
family.
the 1st floor. Catchies lived on the 2nd floor. And I think they only had 1 or 2 bedrooms, and they had about 7 kids, 6 kids. Yeah, they only in that apartment.
And old man, the old man Constantine was a window washer, offices at night. He worked nights, and he was like the old timers. He had a lot of money on him, you know, all the time. I knew him well from down at Gunnell's before, you know, I knew her then. And CS got some financial difficulties, and he borrowed money from Tom. And if you put that all together, I mean, here's a guy that had a big meat market, and this guy here was an office worker, but he borrowed money from him and handshake. No, nothing
And
written.
that was
Nothing written.
Nothing written.
And CS would pay him back, you know.
But that's the kind of neighbors they were.
Yeah.
They couldn't speak English very well, the mother and
When
and
she
grandma.
came up to the camp where you were growing, and Mrs. Constantine came up here, and she cried from the time she saw your mother for an hour and a half until she left.
but they didn't speak English. But all the kids went to our Sunday school until they had a Sunday school over at the church. So we would bring.
And they had a kids corresponding to each one of your kids, right?
Yeah. Their kids only, they kept going after
Yeah, they had,
us.
they had them after that.
But each one of their boys were the same age as my brothers and sisters. And we play on that four corners there.
And that was a parking. What was that? A park? What was over here?
No,
There was a big field there, that church
Yeah,
wasn't
that
there.
big field, and they play baseball up there. But on the four corners there, we'd gather every night and play kick the can, kick the stick. Then we'd have snakes, and there were a lot of kids in the neighborhood. So we would have a lot of fun, and that was the gathering place.
That was the hunt.
Then, that house right across the street, now it's gray. Old man Anderson lived there, and we pestered the life out of him. We would rob his apples, and he was always chasing the kids, mainly my brother Harold and the older brothers, not me.
Yeah, well, Harold shot out streetlights up here with a BB gun. Wow, they said he did. You know,
And he
think
was
did.
always calling the cops on my brothers and the Constantine kids. And Dad would go down the corner and says, "Oh, we didn't, our kids would never do anything like that." But he was.
But they did.
But
The
my
best-
dad and mother thought their kids could do no wrong. They wouldn't do anything
The best
like
story
that.
was when Henry and them went down to Homeland's wallpaper and paint. They had a shack here somewhere, and they stole a gallon of paint and got it up here and found out they didn't like the color. So they flew back down to the store to exchange.
The color. I mean, poor Phil, and he was
He didn't
so.
know anything about it.
He was the innocent one. Henry was the one that stole it.
It was a gallon of paint.
And he went down there and stuttered and he says, "I can't do that." So, and many times in the garage, my brother would, before they had license, would push the car down while my dad and them were sleeping, push the car down the driveway and then push it down the hill just enough and then get it started, and then they could.
Drive here. This is the old
Yeah,
drive.
that's the driveway right there.
And they rented out one of the garage, remember, to Olson.
Yep.
Yeah, because he was always a nuisance, because if we park here, then he
Good. That's good.
No, but in the front of the house, all the neighbors gathered at our house, and there was a swing on that end, and we'd bring a card table out and play Monopoly or play games out there. And Edie Cook, the rugman, lived next door to us. And then the house after that were the Lynns, Frank Lynn, and
Frank Lynn, he was after your mother. She didn't know that.
That's right.
Oh, I didn't know it. He told me I was his first sweetheart.
Well, there you go. So, Jerry,
He had his eye on her.
Yeah.
He was